Hey y'all, welcome to day 24 of my weight loss journey. Today I'm going to be making a new to me version recipe of the egg white bread. I've had some experience with the egg white bread. Years and years ago my dad went on Atkins and we made this thing called cloud bread, and cloud bread was good. I liked it a lot. What I didn't like about it was it was hard to slice, it was hard to store. And you had to be very precise with the recipe, and mostly it was the shape. You know, they were kind of round poofs and they just sort of went everywhere and they were just hard to use for anything. So when I saw this recipe online, I thought I would give it a try myself. So be sure you stick around to the end where Jim and I will give it a taste test and we'll let you know what it's like. So I'm going to start with 12 eggs. I'm going to separate them. I've had them out of my refrigerator for a little while. I've been told that eggs separate more easily when they're at room temperature. I don't know if that's true or not because I always just pull them out of the refrigerator. But I decided to follow the recipe. So room temperature eggs, 12 of them, I'm going to separate them. And there's lots of ways to separate eggs. I just do the back and forth method. Now you are going to end up with lots and lots and lots of egg yolks. Now I liked the yolk is my very favorite part of the egg, so I'm going to be more than happy to have egg yolks because I'll just fry them up like eggs. So, only 11 more to go. Alright, so as you saw, I had a little bit of trouble there with some of my eggs, but hey, eventually I did get 12 eggs and 12 egg whites, And so now to that I am going to add, a fourth a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And let's see, do I add this now? Yes. And a fourth a cup of sweetener. Now the recipe calls for allulose. I don't have that, so I'm just going to try Splenda because that's what I have. So now comes the tedious part. I have to whip these eggs for 8 minutes. So here we go. All right, I'm going to stop there. Those are some really stiff peaks, and they are very shiny looking. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and set my oven for 325 degrees. You probably want to set yours a little sooner than I did, but my oven preheats really fast. So I'm going to set my oven for 325. And then the next step is to put in the egg white powder, and it's a full cup of egg white powder. I bought this on Amazon. It's Judy's dried egg whites. This was not something I had in my home. So she said this gets really messy, and this is something I bought a while ago when I was making a lot of cream cheese icing and the powdered sugar would go everywhere. I figured I would just use it to kind of keep the egg whites from going everywhere. The egg white powder, I mean. Right, and then the directions say to turn your mixture on low this time. And in case I didn't say it, the reason for the sweetener is not to make the bread taste sweet. According to the video I watched, it doesn't taste sweet at all. The sweetener is to give the bread a nice brown, shiny top. Okay, so now I'm going to pile this into my baking dish. And I have a baking dish that I've sprayed with just Pam, and then I've also put parchment paper in it just to make it easier. I like to throw my utensils around, it makes it more fun. And I know you're probably thinking, why is she filling that so full? Well, you know how regular bread rises. Oh, it's messy and slippery. When this doesn't rise, so getting it this full is going to give it that, see, there's my oven already. It's going to give it that loaf shape. Of course, I have to, kind of work with it a little bit, but that's what it should do, is give it that nice shape like a loaf of bread. Looks like ice cream or something pretty. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. I know there's more in my pan, but my hands are too slippery. So I think that's plenty. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes, and then I turn the oven off and I leave it in there to cool for 15 minutes. So 350 degrees for 30 minutes. All right, don't forget to stick around to the end for the taste test. Hey, and push the like button. It really helps my channel. Thank you. Well, it's been about an hour, maybe a little longer, I guess. I baked it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then I let it cool in the oven for 15 minutes. And it's cooled completely. Probably took another 20 minutes would be my guess. And this is a result. It's not the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but I don't really care what it looks like. I'm just anxious to taste it. So I'm going to cut a piece. I'm using a serrated knife, and everything I read said it's super important to let it cool completely. And I did let it cool completely. That's a very thin slice, but look at that. It's very pretty. Smells good. I'm going to put some butter on it and just give it a taste. What's better than a piece of bread and butter, right? It kind of tears nicely. I'd eat that. I would definitely eat that. We got to hear from my husband, see what he says. He's going to taste it and he'll tell you.
I think it's good. And anything you can put butter on is okay.
That's right. If you can put butter on it, what the heck? That's always been one of the things about keto or low carb to me, that you can eat all the butter you want, which is nice, but what do you put it on? I am super excited. A couple of things. This was honestly my first attempt at ever making this. The ones I watched came out much prettier. If I do it again, and I'm going to do it again because it tastes good, I will practice and see if I can get it to look a little bit nicer. I really don't think I want to change anything about the flavor, though. I think that's good. Maybe get a little bit neater at it because I was very messy at it. Anyway, the point is, when and if I get all that done, I will make another video, kind of a follow-up video of what it looks like when somebody who knows what they're doing. But you know what? On the baking channels and the cooking channels, it's always perfect. So maybe it's kind of refreshing to see what it looks like the first time somebody makes a recipe. Anyway, I am super excited. I can't wait to eat some, I don't know, what do we want?
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. Grilled cheese. Okay. I'm going to make some grilled cheese sandwiches out of that. Thanks for watching.